The U.S. election for the midterms basically took place about 4 days ago, and we still do not know if the Republicans or the Democrats are going to be the ruling party of the House or the Senate. Customer sentiment came in on Friday that basically said that it was a little light. It was 54 and the forecast was for 59. So customer sentiment is a little low. The big news, the CPI came in on Thursday, and on Thursday it was down a couple of percentage, which caused the stock market and the dollar, first the stock market to rally and the dollar to tank. And in other news, FTX collapses. It basically had a beef with Changpeng Zhao, and Changpeng Zhao and the CEO of FTX had a falling out, and there were some coins exchanged plus some insults, and this is, I believe, what caused the collapse of FTX. They became insolvent when CZ began selling his tokens. Alright, so the fallout is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all those tanked. All of the cryptocurrencies tanked. And so what I would suggest is, I suggest that you basically hold on to your crypto and dollar cost average in, because there's going to still be some cascading fallout. Maybe you want to take a little bit off. Your choice. And in other news, Houston Mogul wins 75 on Astros World Series win. Let me read this right. Houston Mogul's 75 million win on Astros hits Caesar's hardest. There we go. All right. So Houston future furniture store magnate Jim Mackingvale won $75 million on his wagers that the hometown team would take baseball's World Series. Okay, so basically what happened was he made bets across the board, across a number of sports betting sites, but he made his biggest bet at Caesars, and Caesars basically had 10-1 odds that the Astros would basically take this, and he bet $3 million. So he got about a $30 million payout for, just, supporting the home team. That's pretty good. So, what should he do with this newfound money? I'm glad you asked. He should trade Forex. Hey ForexMilitia, this is Parsival, and we are coming to you from the ForexMilitia base camp, right? Alright, and this is the Forex Weekly Outlook for the week of the 14th to the 18th, and we're starting out with last week's calendar. We went over the congressional elections, the CPI that came in a little bit lighter, which caused the Dow to rally and the dollar to tank, and the customer sentiment. Now coming this week, we got a lot of hot news coming in. We have the pound NFP basically giving the the forecast is 17.3. We'll see if that comes in line. We have PPI, we have wage price index from Australia, the CPI from the GDP, the GBP, and we have the CAD CPI, the Loonie CPI. We have the BOE is going to speak on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we have the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. So this news is red. The biggest news that's basically coming out for this week is actually the employment from the GBP, the CPI from the GBP, and the CPI from the Loonie. That seems to be the biggest. Oh, and I missed it. The Aussie unemployment. So that seems to be the biggest news that's coming. So there are 3 points to look out for. All right. So that's the calendar, and so let's go to the charts and see what we can see. Okay, starting out on the dollar. The dollar basically was in pretty much a consolidation after all these moves higher. And we are seeing it decline after the better than expected CPI that came in from the US. So I am still bullish on the dollar. It is going, I mean, this week was definitely like a pivot point, right? Because it's going to look like the Fed is going to stop, or they're going to reduce the size of the rate hikes. So, because it looks like inflation is cooling off. But on the COT, the dollar is still long. On the US 30, the Dow Jones rallied. It basically took off on Thursday, and Friday was a little bit muted, so it didn't really do much. But this is still in a short position as far as I'm reading it. So I am still short this. I'm looking for it to basically go long though, because the market usually is always bullish. On gold basically made a triple bottom. See this right here, and then it took off from there, and on the COT is long, and basically it is looking for a spot up at 1850 or so, up around this area. You see this here, some consolidation. And at that consolidation, you should basically look for taking some profit from that point. Okay, on Bitcoin was looking like it was going to rally, and then I believe the whole FTX saga started, and it fell tremendously. It tanked. It went from like 21,000 down to 15,000, as you can see here on my chart. So I'm always bullish on Bitcoin, but at this point it is crypto winter, so it's a good time to dollar cost average and see exactly what could happen next. On US oil is basically bearish, and but on the CO technically is bearish. On the COT it is bullish. And right now it is pretty much consolidating at this point here. As you can see, it's moving straight across. So it fell down to this point. I believe this area is an extreme, but I believe that at some point this technical bearishness will turn technically bullish, and it will rally up. On the CAD with the dollar basically tanked. Now, even though the COT has the Canadian dollar short, the dollar basically was it declined more. It was more negative than the CAD, and it was a big move on the dollar, which caused this move lower. I am still bullish on the Loonie. just as I am bullish on the dollar, but we will see what basically happens in the months coming up. I believe this is somewhere down to this area. This is a relief. This is a some profit taking, and it's going to hit around this area here, and then most likely continue to rally higher. Okay. On the euro is basically long on the COT, but on technically it is short. Now it broke through some areas here, which is notable, and I believe it'll rally up to 105.50. 105.50 is the point. That is a monthly resistance level, and I'm hoping to see it basically bounce off and continue lower. Even though the COT has it long, technically the dollar is going to, I believe it's going to bounce off of a certain level like 104. So this will rally higher and bounce off this resistance and come back down. On the pound is also rallying, even though the COT has it short, because the dollar basically is bearish. And so that basically means that the same thing that's happening with the euro is going to happen on the pound, and with most of the majors, as you saw on the loonie and the euro. And so with that basically wraps that up. And I'm going to say please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you look in the description, you will find that I have TradeMiner, Seasonax, and EA Builder in there. Please check out those links and support the channel. And with that, I will say knowledge is power. Be power hungry and power to the people. And so this is Parsival signing out.